I feel pretty seasoned, you know, weathered, and I've seen some stuff, man. I've been places here. Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to another episode of Scrap Mechanic City. This time, I'm bringing you guys a very interesting addition to the module kind of world. And in this episode, it's going to be a train, as you can see right here, as well as a pretty nifty looking crane system off in the distance over there. Now, before I show you guys the crane, we'll kind of just quickly go over this train, because it is a little bit laggy when it doesn't move. So I want to kind of go over that first so I can get rid of it, and then we'll look at the crane design over there. So I'm going to stop this right here, and we'll just kind of pop it on a lift so we can reduce the lag and have a better look at this train. So a couple things about this train. Namely, is the first thing is that I really wanted to keep it relatively simple because I knew that trains would get laggy very quickly. So in this case here, I kept it pretty simple as far as the drive system goes. It's just a couple engines that drive the front engine there. But as you can see, I put the pipe pieces right here on bearings, so as the wheels spin, you can see there that those things will rotate together on each wheel. And the same thing on the engine right here. Overall, though, like I said, it's a pretty simple design. It accomplishes exactly what I want, which is a train that can tow a trailer right here that has a container on it. So I'm going to grab this train again and show you guys what it's like to put it on the track. So let's get the lift tool out right here, and I will grab the train and kind of just turn it around so we can see what it looks like going for a little bit of a distance. So the trick is to put the lift just off to the left right here and not in the center. I'm not too sure why that happened, but for some reason, I think it's because of this area right here. I guess if I filled that in, it probably wouldn't do that, but that's where I connect the two carts together. So you can actually see that's where I will put the weld pieces right here. So you can have separate carts. So essentially this train engine right here would have the caution blocks on the tail end, and then this cart here has the metal pieces, and at this tail end it has caution blocks. So you can spawn a few of these carts and connect them together. I'll be honest though, I connected this one as well as a second cart, and the lag was so bad that I knew I couldn't record it, which is very unfortunate because it did look pretty cool if you have a little bit of patience. So as you can see though, the cart itself is mounted right here on this point, so you break that point right there, and then this container will become free. So I wanted to transport them around, but also be able to pick them up with the crane over there. So in this case, it works out pretty good because I can maneuver around the tracks with this main engine, and when I get up to the crane itself, I can actually disconnect these, and then disconnect this right here, which will essentially save a whole bunch of FPS. So we'll see that in action in a moment, but let's go and see this train a little bit more in detail, because I am actually really happy with the way it turned out. So we'll get a little bit of FPS drop here. So you can see there is a ladder right here on the side that you can hop up onto, and you do another jump and a third jump, and then you're inside the train. Very simple, like I said. So you have a radio here, of course. You can crack that on and listen to some tunes while you're rolling along. I also made a night mode, so if the game ever does, or when it does get day and night mode, you can see here we can turn some lights on, and you can see in the dark, which is kind of good. And we got the red lighting on the inside, which is better for the eyes. So here, this is just a top view of the weld points right here. As you can see, the container itself does have some holding pieces right here that will make sure it doesn't fall out. So you can drive around with it with this piece dropped out actually, but I like to just keep it welded together to save as much FPS as possible. So when you're in the actual car, you press the 1 key, and that's what gets you going forward, and then here the 2 key just gets all of those lights going for if it was dark out. So the beauty of this train actually is you can actually hop out like so, and it has like a perfect speed that you can actually just kind of walk around without moving around on the train. So I was thinking, you know what, if this game does gain some FPS, you can make some amazing trains that would be full of awesome carts. So you can actually kind of ride the rails here. I feel pretty seasoned, you know, weathered, and I've seen some stuff, man. I've been places here. But as you can see, we are getting to the end of the track, but this train, like I said, overall, really happy with the design. It works out really well. But I'm gonna turn this around and we're gonna head back over to the crane and I'll give you guys a rundown on that awesome thing. Alright, we are now approaching our destination. So as you can see, the crane fits directly over top of the entire train. So we are gonna pull up right underneath it. It is gonna get a little bit laggy. You'll see that, but once I get it pulled up underneath, we will disconnect these together and we'll get the crane going. Alright, so like I was saying, if I delete right here, and I can actually pull this car away now with the lift here, and you will notice a massive increase in FPS. And I'm thinking it's just because everything is close together. So there we go, now the train engine is separated from the cart, and we can start using the crane. I'm really happy with the overall design. It was a little tricky to get working, but I kept it relatively simple. As you can see, there are thrusters which are used to move it from the front to the back here on these rails. And up top there, that box is actually a separate vehicle that you can get into and maneuver across the rails in that direction. So of course, the first thing we're going to do is hop into this seat right here, and I'll bring up the buttons. So number 1 key is the button that will bring you forward, and as you can see, I actually have some pretty cool lights to warn people when you're moving, as well as an alarm. So it doesn't move too fast either, which is something I figured, you know, is relatively true to a crane. But you can also press the 2 key if you go a little bit too far and back up. And I find it kind of funny, it actually has a slightly different tone. And you can see right there as well, I have some stoppers so that way the entire thing doesn't go launching, because you can put it on a lift and put it down, but I prefer not to have to do that. So let's line this thing up right next to the cart there. As you can see, I try and line up this straight yellow line, as well as the black pipe pieces up on the top there with the slots on the container. So that's lined up perfectly. So now what we'll do, of course, is go here and drop the container. So I do lose a little bit of FPS, but it's pretty manageable. So now I'm going to use this awesome staircase that I made. This was a pretty tricky staircase. I kind of built it from the top to the bottom, actually. But really, overall, I'm super happy with this one. And we make it all the way to the top here. So as you can see, there's a couple caution blocks to show you that you are now in a little bit of a dangerous spot right here. You could definitely fall and hurt yourself. So let's just quickly hop into the seat here, and I will show you guys how this one works. So the way it works is W is actually what's going to move you to the left like so, and the S key will move you backwards. So that's how you would get back to the stair system right here and hop on out. As you can see very close by, I added some guards so that way the wheels wouldn't actually kind of roll your way out, because you could actually potentially pop this thing out, but I don't know how you would put it back in. I guess you would have to weld it. So let's move this thing over to the top of the train cart here and try and pick up that container. So I find the easiest way to do that, of course, is to just go over top of it like so. And you can get a good idea here from the back as well how it's going to move. The crane system does move to the left a little bit, I did notice, but that's alright. So I'd say right about here is good. So you press the 2 key and that will open up your kind of little grippers, and you press the 1 key which puts the crane arm down like so, and once that's down like that, you press the 2 key again to grab the grippers, and you press the 1 key and it should just pull it right up like so. Alright, that's perfect. So now I am gonna go grab that truck. I forgot, look at that, I forgot that the truck is over there. Oh no, you know what, I'm gonna put that back down quickly. So let's just put that down. Yeah, forget that happened. Alright, I'm gonna go get the truck, and then we will do that. Alright, so I put the truck there. It was so laggy that I decided to move the truck and leave the trailer, and it's even laggy still. So bear with me while this kind of goes the way I hope it does. But I'm gonna grab it now and hopefully be able to pick it up here and get it onto that truck bed there. So as you can see, it's picking up the container no problem, and we are gonna slowly make our way to the trailer now. Alright, that looks pretty good right there. So I'm gonna drop it down, and I'm gonna try and drop it right here, and pick the arm back up. Alright, a little rough, but it got the job done. I don't think I really planned that trailer too well for this build, but you know what? It seems to be working pretty good. But man, what is causing that lag? I gotta tell you, I want to see what is inside that box, because I don't even understand this FPS right now. Alright, this lag fest is over. I gotta see what is worth all of that trouble. Let me tell you, that is some lagginess, and I hope it is frickin' worth it. Oh, wow, okay, it's a bunch of Christmas presents. Oh, that's right, it's Christmas tomorrow. Wow, I almost completely forgot. And I guess, would you look at that? I think, whoa, these look like some moderately familiar items, don't they? Maybe you recognize them. If you recognize them, you should let me know in the comments. I'm very curious if you do. I think this one says Fragile on it, actually. But there you go, guys. It is the train crane. That sounds kind of funny. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm going to be putting a link in the description for the world download, so you guys can try it out. I gotta warn you, though, it is an FPS hog. So the downloader beware. It's a lot of fun, though, so I hope you guys did enjoy it. So if you did, though, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for endless scrap mechanic. And of course, I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye for now, and Merry Christmas.